I'm gonna be honest, I'm really not against the idea of Randy Orton defeating Gunther at Bash in Berlin to become the new World Heavyweight Champion, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, and here are my 5 key findings. Before we get into them, please like and subscribe, it's really appreciated. Let's kick things off at number 5. Bronson Reed has gotten over faster than a tsunami. When Triple H originally brought back Bronson Reed, I thought it was a little bit of a strange rehire. Not because he's not a good wrestler, but just because I didn't really know where he'd fit in. And to be honest with you, up until about a month ago, I was right, because barely anyone cared about this guy. While he was away from WWE, this guy was starting to become a bit of a star in New Japan. He defeated Kazuchika Okada in the G1. I honestly thought him staying there would have been the best move. But since that attack on Seth Rollins, this guy is getting some of the loudest reactions in the entire company. And last night, everything that he did in that match against The Miz, the arena just erupted. It really, really did. This guy is over. This guy is a star now. The match was a lot of fun. Miz did a great job, as he always does. But the real point coming out of the match was Bronson Reed could now be a top star for WWE. Triple H clearly saw something in him. Shawn Michaels clearly saw something in him when he was in NXT as well. And now, we are finally seeing what they saw. And him versus Braun Strowman. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I am excited for this one. I am absolutely gutted that Pat McAfee is not going to be on commentary for it. But this could be a premium live event match. This could be a Raw main event. It would fit into either. But all I know is that I am excited to see it, and so are audiences worldwide. In at number 4, I wish American Made had just moved away from the Wyatt Six. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Wyatt Six, but ultimately they took all of American Made's momentum away from them as soon as they beat them in that 6-man tag team match. But hey, last week I said the introduction of Ivy Nile made American Made feel fresh again. They were fine, they'd moved on from it, onwards and upwards from here. But now you're putting them right back into the feud with the Wyatt Six once again. And they're going to look like idiots, right? We know Howdy's just going to squash Gable. When a new faction is being created, you need a couple of feuds to make them look strong. You need to really establish them. And then after then, you can, have them take some losses. But having 2 new factions feud against each other, especially when we know Wyatt Six aren't going to lose, not only is it predictable, but also I think American Made deserve better, because I think these guys have tremendous potential. But hey, hopefully they can recover after the feud with the Wyatt Six. They probably can, right? I'm not going to exaggerate here and say they're ruined or anything like that, but they are digging themselves in a hole slightly. In at number 3, the Judgment Day finally got the upper hand that they needed. Ever since the new Judgment Day was revealed, the Terror Twins have basically gotten the upper hand on them every single week. And it's fine. The Terror Twins are baby faces. They are so over. It makes sense. That's fine. But as I said last week, Liv and Dom need to win at Bash in Berlin, right? By cheating, obviously, but they need to win. Because otherwise, they're going to look like idiots too. Because on the same point as I made about American Made, the new Judgment Day are also technically a new faction. So they need to look strong. But last night, the numbers game finally caught up to the Terror Twins, and the Judgment Day didn't look like idiots. They put them down, they looked strong, and they got a lot of momentum, quite frankly, coming out of that segment. I still do think that Liv and Dom probably do need to win at Bash in Berlin, but at least now that they've got a bit of momentum coming out of a segment like this, it's not like the Terror Twins have just embarrassed them every single week and then go on to beat them. So it wouldn't be the end of the world now, but even still, I think Liv and Dom cheating at Bash in Berlin is the way to go, because you make the faction look strong, you get the crowds more behind Liv Morgan and Damian Priest, and I think that's just the smart thing to do. The Terror Twins truly are more over than ever. Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are more over than they've ever have been as baby faces, right? And obviously I think they had to be heels, they had to be badass heels for them to get to the point where fans would love them like this. But now that they've turned face once again, these guys could bring in some serious money for WWE. In at number 2, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the women's tag team division is finally heading in the right direction. Or at least I hope so. Because let's be realistic for a second, the women's division has been booked horrendously since it was introduced in WWE. It feels like they just haven't cared at times about it. It's been written, it's been booked so lazily, and fans as a result haven't particularly cared with that much, which absolutely sucks, because there's so much talent in this women's division that deserves to be showcased. But over the last few weeks, I feel like it is slowly heading in the right direction. On both brands, you've had tag teams which are really fighting for the chance, for the opportunity to earn a shot at the tag team gold. And last night's women's tag team championship match, the triple threat match, well, it was not only intense, but it was also a really, really enjoyable match. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are looking like real threats as tag team champions. And of course, the best thing about them is that they are an actual tag team. They're not just a makeshift tag team. They're not just thrown together. And that's what I hope we see more of. And I know people aren't a fan of the Pure Fusion Collective, but at least Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, they're an actual tag team now. And the same for Damage Control as well. So from here, let's continue to build the tag team division. Let's continue to introduce more teams, to have more feuds within it, and really make it prestigious once again. Because let's face it, the men's tag team division has been booked awfully lately as well. Apart from the men's SmackDown division, which has had a tournament, which I think has helped a lot. But it's not even that hard to do for the women's tag team division to become more interesting than the men's tag team division at the minute. And that's what I want to see. And in at number 1, I am not against the idea of Randy Orton defeating Gunther at Bash in Berlin to become a 15th time world champion, as long as Gunther wins it back a month or two later. Orton getting his 15th title reign before Cena goes on his retirement tour means we have the possibility of seeing a 16-time champion versus a 16-time champion to become a 17th time champion, to become essentially the greatest of all time when it comes to title reigns. So that's one of the reasons why, but also we just haven't seen a shock title change, or shock world title change in quite some time. And not only that, but we haven't seen a good flip-flop title change in quite some time either. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when they're done rarely, I don't mind them. I mean, we all know Gunther's going to hold that belt for ages, but right now he's only a month into his title reign. Why not have him lose it, then win it back a month or two later, and then hold it for ages, right? It'll get Randy Orton that 15th title reign, and it'll also be a shock, it'll be surprising, and it'll just throw in a curveball, which is unpredictable. Gunther's already beaten Orton once, Orton then gets a win back, and then Gunther beats him again after. Gunther will win 2-1 ultimately, and he won't look weak, right? He'll be a 2-time champion, he'll be fine. I've always said I think Orton should finish his career as at least a 16-time champion, right? He deserves to be up there with John Cena and Ric Flair, but I also think there's an argument for him to become a 17th time champion. But I love the match between Orton and Gunther at King of the Ring. Truly one of my favourite matches from this year so far. So I'm hyped for Bash in Berlin. But which way do you guys think it'll go? Because although I'd like it to be Orton, I am still predicting Gunther. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But that's all my analysis for today's episode of Allison Analysis. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below. We really appreciate it. I will be back on Thursday to give some Dynamite analysis, and a Dynamite which I will be attending live. I'll see you guys then. Peace!